Okay, first grade friends, it's so great to see you today. It's Monday, and that means new concept. What is our new concept that we're learning this week? Well, the new concept, the new sound is aw. Now, let's talk about that sound together. So sometimes it's not like a short O sound, not like aw, but like we're going to tip the hand just a little bit, do our hand shape with me. And then it's like when you went to the doctor and he's going to look in at your throat to see if you have any ickies in your throat, and you go like this, ah, and you open that nice and wide, making that sound, ah. That's our sound. Now, how do we make that sound? Well, we're going to learn 4 ways to make that sound. The first way, the most common way, is A-U. A-U says ah, vowel team. We also have A-W. A-W can say ah, vowel team. We have A-U-G-H. A-U-G-H. All 4 of those letters together can say ah. And our last way, now I have A-L on our board here. However, if we take the L off, it's really the A that is making that aw sound. But very often you are going to see the L come right after the A, like in the word ball, hall, mall. We don't say mal, we say mall, aw. So that A, and again, very often the L comes after it. Not always. We're going to see some examples of words today that don't have the L coming right after it, but often it does. All right, so I'm gonna start off by reading you a bit of a story today. All right, let's take a look at the story. All right, here's my story I would like to share with you today. Now, there's a very specific reason. I am reading you the story Jack and the Beanstalk. Right here. Beanstalk. There's that L. We don't hear it. We don't say stalk, but we hear awk. And often there it is. It's followed by that L. So, Jack and the Beanstalk, written by Richard Walker. There it is again, aw. So as we go through just a part of the story today, I want you to be listening for any other words or watching for any of those letter combinations to get the aw sound that we talked about. Here we go. Jack and the Beanstalk. Jack and the Beanstalk, retold by Richard Walker. I'm not going to start by saying that Jack was lazy when there was an adventure in the offering. He was not lazy at all, but most of the time he just did a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Jack lived with his mom and Daisy the cow in a tumble-down farmhouse a little way out of town. Jack's mom liked to do just a little bit of this and a little bit of that as well. They didn't have very much money, but they didn't much care. Then one day, there was nothing left to eat, not even a crust of old bread, and no money left either to buy anything. It's no good, Jack, his mom said. We'll have to sell poor old Daisy. You had better get up early in the morning and take her to the market. Make sure you get a good price for her. Jack knew better than to argue. Besides, he was very hungry. So the next day, he got up at sunrise and set off down the lane with Daisy in tow. He had not gone far when he came around the corner and bumped into a funny little man. The man was wearing a big, baggy jacket with big, baggy pockets. Good morning to you, said the man. That's a nice looking cow you have there. Do you fancy doing a swap for her? Let's take a look at this word. Listen, swap, swap. There's that A, doesn't have the L after it this time, but we have the ah sound. We don't say the word swap. Nope, it's the word swap, swap. Swap means to trade. Jack remembered what his mom had told him, so he asked, "What will you give me in exchange?" "These," declared the funny little man, and plunged his hand deep into one of his pockets and pulled out 6 plump beans. "Those?" asked Jack. "Yes," said the funny little man, "these." "Don't think these are just ordinary beans." See the beans over here? "Oh no, these are magic beans. But you will have to be careful with them. I've lost the instructions for them, so I'm not sure what they do." Well, there was nothing Jack loved more than magic, so he handed over Daisy and took the beans and hurried home. As soon as he reached the back door, Jack burst into the kitchen and proudly threw the beans down onto the table. "What's this?" exclaimed his mom. "Oh dear," thought Jack. "They're magic beans, Mom. There's that word again. If I take off the ending, there's swap. Had our ending on, swapped. I swapped them for Daisy. At least we've got something to eat." "Well, we will when they've grown." Jack's mom was furious. She went white in the face and shouted and stamped. Then she threw open the window and flung the beans outside. That night, Jack and his mom went to bed feeling miserable and hungry. But then in the garden, things began to happen. The beans slipped down through the cracks and in the ground. Their roots wiggled into the deep earth, and shoots pushed upward. They burst through the hard crust of the soil and twisting and tangling together, they grew high into the sky. They kept on growing until they each reached the land of the clouds. Then a long, weary trundle reached down to the house and tapped on Jack's bedroom window. "Who's that?" Jack yawned. Oh, look at there. A-W. What did we say A-W says? Aw. This word is yawned. So we have stalk, we have swap, and now we have yawn. He saw strange shadows in the moonlit window, and, not sure whether this was a dream or a real adventure, he padded across the room and drew back his curtains. There, bending and swaying in the moonlight, was the most enormous bean stalk he had ever seen. I wonder where the top of it goes to," Jack said to himself. There was only one way to find out. Without stopping to think twice, he clambered over the windowsill and started to climb. Soon the house was just a tiny dot far below. Still, he made his way upward. All right, we will find out what happens in the clouds tomorrow. All right, so we worked on some new sounds and new words today. I want you to get out a piece of paper. I have a piece of blank paper, but you don't need blank paper. If you have a piece of lined paper, that will work as well. So here we go. Make your paper look like mine. Remember, today we learned 4 ways to make that aw sound. So we're going to start with the most common way first. A-U. That's the first way we learned. aw. A-W. A-U-G-H. And our last way was that A. Remembering on our board, sometimes it has that L. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you some words. Then we're going to talk through the words. Then you need to put the word in the correct place on your sort. So the first word in a moment that you're going to see is this word. This is the word. Now we know AW says aw, so let's start at the beginning. Dr, aw, draw. Okay, so even if we aren't sure of the word, we're going to know the sounds in the words in order to be able to read it. All right, let's take a look at some more words. So here was the first word. You already wrote that one down on your board. Let's do the next one. Here it is. Now, first, what's the vowel pattern? You're right, the vowel pattern is the A or the AL. So what does the A say? Aw. Start at the beginning of the word, read it, sound it out. S, m, ah, o. Say it fast. Small. So on your board, you are going to write that in the A column, just like this. So now we have draw and small. Okay, here's the next word. Remember, at any point, I know I'm going quickly, you're going to pause the video to write the words and go at your pace. Here's the next word. Okay, first you're going to think to yourself, the vowel pattern. Yep, A. What sound is it making today? Aw. So let's read it. All. All. Write that in the correct place. Our next word. This is our last word for today, and we will continue with this tomorrow. First, what is our vowel pattern? A-U-G-H. A-U-G-H. What sound does A-U-G-H make? Aw. So all four of those letters make the aw sound. So we actually only have 3 sounds in this word that start at the beginning. K, aw, t. Say it fast. Caught. Like I caught the ball. All right, we're going to stop there. Remember that our learning today was the new patterns that make the aw sound. This piece of paper you need tomorrow because we will continue to add words to our pattern tomorrow. All right, friends, I'll see you all soon. Bye.